Hey guys, what is going on? Randall419, the man with the million, bringing you a review I promised I would do a while back, but I kind of got into Watch Dogs 2 a little bit more than I thought I would, and I didn't want to review this game until I started a second playthrough, but this is going to be my review of Dishonored 2, sequel to obviously Dishonored 1, a game which I thoroughly enjoyed because I love stealth games, and we get very few stealth games anymore. Splinter Cell is one of my favorite franchises. We barely get those. And the first Dishonored was great in my opinion. I loved it. I like playing my games stealthy. So this game, I was hyped for. I was hyped for Dishonored 2. Arcane Studios did a great job with the first one. Bethesda always seems to publish pretty good games. I mean, sometimes they have a stinker here and there. Anybody remember Brink? I do. So, what do I think of this game? Is it a good sequel? And yes, it is. It is a very good sequel. The problem is, I don't know if it is better than the first one. Or at least, I don't know if I enjoyed it more than the first one. I think I might have actually just enjoyed it as much as the first.
Why I'm here?
So they set it up. The story is just weak in my opinion. The story kind of like starts off like really fast, like within like a minute, like you're just thrown into the situation where somebody tries to overthrow Emily, who is the daughter from, the little girl from the first game that is now grown up and is the Empress. What differs with this game is that you can choose between playing as Corvo and Emily, and they both are different. They both have different powers, and they both have different voice actors, obviously. And where Dishonored always has shined, in my opinion, is with the ability of the powers. I mean, yes, you can play it as a straight stealth game like I did. My first playthrough, I played as Corvo. I played with no powers, and I beat the game without being seen. I beat the game without killing anybody and without powers. But I feel Dishonored is better played with powers because they add a lot to the experience. Plus, it's easier to get around the map, to get into, hard to reach places, to stealth through an area. So I would recommend, because I have started my second playthrough as Emily. I think Emily, this is the thought I've had when I started playing the game, and it further cements it when I started playing as Emily. I think this game was originally designed to be you could only play as Emily, because I feel the story revolves around her a lot. Her voice actress is extremely well done. She has a lot of dialogue. Conversely, I don't think Corvo is a good character, voice-wise. Like, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue. A lot of the dialogue that he does have is kind of just, I need to save Emily. I need to do whatever I need to do to save her. It's not very good. And I want to say, and I don't know this for sure, but it feels like the game was built to be only playable as Emily, and then at some point they're like, well, we don't want people to play as girls, or whatever dumb reason they come up with, and they threw Corvo in there. Because if you guys remember, Corvo from the first game was a mute character, but in this game, he talks. I don't care for his voiceover actor at all. I don't care for his dialogue, and that's maybe one of the reasons why my first playthrough, I think I liked the game less than the first Dishonored. But on my second playthrough playing as Emily, she's more animated, she gives more emotion, her voice actor's better. I think she has a cool set of powers that Corvo doesn't have. So I feel like the game was kind of meant to be played as her, and so like I played the game in low chaos the first time, not being seen, no kills. Second time, I'm going through it in high chaos, with the powers and stuff, and I find that to be a lot more fun. Like, I'm having more fun searching through the levels because you're not limited, because you can't get to a certain area because of the powers. And that's where this game shines, is the ability to tackle different objectives in different ways. For instance, let's just run through a scenario of the Wall of Light. There's this Wall of Light where if you pass through, you'll immediately die, right? There's so many different ways to get past a Wall of Light. Number one, you can rewire it so it recognizes you and doesn't recognize anybody else, and it'll kill them. You can disable it completely, obviously. You can get above it and maybe find a different path. You can get above it and blink across, like teleport across it. You can, take possession of a guard and walk through it. There are like so many different ways to tackle this game, and not just for the Wall of Light, but for every objective in the game. Like, there's the player agency in this game is incredible. Like, you can pretty much play the game however you want to play it. There's they give you the tool set, much like Watch Dogs 2, to play it stealthily if you want to, or play it just killing everybody. It's how you want to do it, and a lot of games don't do that, so I'm going to give it credit for that. There's many different ways to tackle an objective. You know, for instance, when you go up against the Clockwork Killer, or I forget the name of the killer in the Mission 3, you can go up to her and you can just kill the person, right? Like, no questions asked, just kill them. But if you search around and get more information, you can actually find that there is a better option. You can neutralize her and instead of killing her, and you can do that to all the main targets in the game. There's the easy way, which is the killing, which is why it's considered the bad ending, and there's the good way, which is the low chaos way, which is basically not killing the person. Because the more you get in high chaos, dialogue changes. You become unhinged, which is something I complained about in Watch Dogs 2 with Marcus, which I think is implemented great here. Like, Emily, if she's a different character in low cast as she is in high cast, like, she becomes like mad and insane, like, you know, and bloodthirsty if you go about it in high chaos. So there's a couple good standout levels here, like I'm showing in the clips. The Clockwork Mansion one is absolutely phenomenal. Reminds me a lot of BioShock in a certain way. I like how the rooms kind of like connect and reassemble and stuff. I thought that was fun to play through. And this level right here with the timepiece where you can, you know, go in between past and present, I thought was a really, really cool level. I don't know if any levels are as good as, say, the ball, the ball party one and Dishonored one, but you know, it's still a good game. If you're not a fan of stealth games, and if you didn't like Dishonored 1, you're not going to like this game. It is more of the same, but better, you know, with more options of how you want to play, you know, choosing between different characters. But if you did like Dishonored 1, then you owe it to yourself to pick this game up, because it is a good game. And with that said, I'm leaning on giving this game an 8. I think originally my first playthrough I was hinging on a 7.5, just because like I felt like there weren't any good, the levels weren't as good as the one in the first one. I didn't like Corvo's character. I would have rather him for Mute. I think his voiceover isn't as good. But then I started playing as Emily, and she has some pretty cool powers, and you know, playing with the powers, you know, makes the game better, and her voiceover and her dialogue is way better than Corvo's, so I started to appreciate the game more. And maybe that's on me. Maybe the reason I didn't like it that much at first, or as much as I should have, is because I played the game a certain way. I played it without, you know, the powers, and didn't kill anybody and didn't get detected. And I played it with Corvo, like I said before. I think this game was meant to be played with Emily. And when I was playing with Emily, I feel the game is better. So I bumped it up, you know, because I didn't want to review this game only playing it once, you know, like I wanted to play through some of it a second time. Like I haven't beat it the second time, but I've played enough of it to know that that the characters are different, they have different powers, there's different dialogue and stuff like that. So yeah, if you don't like stealth games, it's not for you. If you don't like Dishonored, don't get it. I know it's been on sale. If you just want to try it out, it's a good price. I think it was like on sale for $35 Black Friday. But if you do like stealth games, and if you do like Dishonored 1, do yourself a favor, can't even talk, and pick this game up, because you'll enjoy it immensely, just like I did. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give this game an 8. Hopefully they come out with some DLC like they did for the first game, and I'm looking forward to Dishonored 3. Hopefully they stick to a single character this time instead of splitting it up between two, because I feel like Corvo was just an afterthought, and this game was meant to be played as Emily, and I think I may have did myself a disservice playing as Corvo. But anyways, guys, if you liked the video, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to be starting to put out daily content starting this week. I got a couple videos planned for tomorrow, review, and a couple opinion pieces that'll go up along the way. If you're not following me on Twitter, Xbox Live, or Twitch, where I stream most of my games, the links are in the description of the video. We got TXR Podcast Monday nights, which I am the host of. The best Xbox podcast on Mondays, might I add. Link is in the description. If you want to go over to that podcast channel, check it out. I think it's a pretty good show. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play. We're everywhere. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video, guys. I hope you liked it, and I will see you later.